Rev up your engines! Today I'm going to talk about why you might consider buying a Toyota Highlander. As SUVs have become more and more popular, if you're looking for one that's going to last a long time, you really can't beat a Toyota Highlander. I have a customer with one that's got 450,000 miles on it, original engine, original transmission. The thing still runs like a clock. And it really doesn't matter what engine you get in it. This one's got the 4-banger. If you want more power, you can get the V6. Let's say you want to put a hitch and tow stuff, I'd advise getting the V6 then versus the 4-cylinder if you're going to do towing. But for normal driving, the 4-cylinder's got plenty enough power. Got 185 horsepower. It's plenty enough to get this SUV going wherever you want to go. And it gets pretty good gas mileage on the highway. You can see there's lots of room inside. Got a big back in this case. This one's set up for its dogs. They're going on vacation. They throw their dogs in the back. And that leaves the dogs with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 windows they can look out of. Highlanders are notorious for taking abuse and just keep rolling down the road. As you can see, this one's become a receptacle for a bunch of high-flying birds. Still goes perfectly fine. And with the back open, you can really see the kind of space this thing has. It's roomy. You can carry a lot of cargo with it too if you want. But the main aspect of the Highlander is Toyota reliability. My customers with them, if they ever do get another one, because the old one finally wears out with 500,000 miles on it, invariably they go buy another one. This is his customer's second. And since he's now retired, he claims it's going to be his last car. It very well could be. He's not putting the mileage on it like he used to. This thing's 6 years old, but it's only got 34,000 miles, so I wouldn't be surprised if the car outlasts him. And of course they come with all the bells and whistles, computer stuff like all the modern cars do. And it sits up high enough. You don't have to worry about speed bumps. You can go through a reasonable amount of water if there's flooding going on. It's not an insanely high vehicle, but if you want a vehicle that's a little bit higher up in the air, check one of these out. And if you want 3rd row seating, that's available on these too. A lot of people always say to me, Scotty, I want something with 3rd row seating. I bought some GM stuff, it was junk, it just fell apart. What can I buy? I tell them to buy a Highlander, and the ones that listen to me, boy, they're always thanking me. Now sure, they're not giving these things away. That's why it's a very good idea to buy one used. We're not talking about something like a Chrysler vehicle that when it's used it's generally falling apart. It's going to be an endless money pit. The Toyotas can last so long that there's nothing wrong with buying a used one. Say the thing's going to last 400,000 miles. Maybe it's only got 100,000 on now. You're going to get a good price with 100,000 miles. If you use your head, just don't pay whatever somebody's asking. If you buy one with 100,000 miles on it, say it goes 400,000 miles, that means it's only used up 25% of its lifespan. And if you only have to pay, say, 30 or 40% of what the original sticker price was, you're making out like a gangbuster. And in the case of this 4-cylinder, look at all the room under the hood. There's all kinds of room. If you do your own maintenance, it's easy to do. It's not crowded in here. There's a lot of working room. Of course, being a Toyota, you probably wouldn't have to do much work on it. I mean, the major things of the older ones were you had to change the timing belts every 100,000 miles or so. But for ages, they use timing chains in these things now. So odds are you're going to buy one. It's going to have a timing chain, and as long as you change your oil frequently, the change generally lasts just as long as the engines do. And really, let's face the facts. These mid-size SUVs, they all look pretty much the same. I have a heck of a time myself these days trying to figure out, is it a Toyota? Is it a Jaguar SUV? They even make Porsche SUVs now. I mean, they all pretty much look the same. They got pretty similar styles. And what I like about this one, even though it's 6 years old, it's got the old style grille. It doesn't have that horrible scowl that they all seem to be just falling in love with cars these days. And since these things have so much room, I even have one customer, he lives in his. He travels all over the country, sleeps in it, he's got a refrigerator, he's got all kinds of stuff. Power inverter hooked up, watches flat screen TV in it if he wants. All my customers love their Highlanders. Well, except for one. And the problem with that was, he bought it used from a car rental place, and it turns out it had been a gigantic wreck. And they didn't tell him about it. Because a lot of these car rental companies, they're self-insured. So if you go through the record, there may not be any record of the thing being totaled and put back together again because they do it in-house. Another reason not to buy a used car from a car rental agency. And if you're worried about that, heck, just buy a brand new one. My son was looking for a Toyota, and I started looking around for a nice used one for him. And finally he said, "Hey, Dad, forget it. I'm just gonna buy a brand new one, because I'm gonna keep the thing for 20, 30 years or more. What the heck? I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it, so I don't care." And he just went out and bought a brand new one. But out, Scotty, hey, I'm cheap. I still would buy a used one. Personally, I just hate wasting money. And if you hate wasting money on a vehicle, get yourself one of these Highlanders. Once you buy it, you're not going to have to worry about much for quite some time. So now you know, if you're looking for a pretty much indestructible SUV that can carry a lot of people and be fun to drive, you really can't go wrong with a Toyota Highlander. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.